At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you today's guest speaker, Major General Raymond Shields, 54th Adjutant General of the New York Army National Guard.
Hey, well, good morning, everyone. And it's truly a great honor to be here with you this morning and to talk at this graduation. I thought you were only here about 30 days, but I hear you're here 5 weeks. So I'm sure all of you are very interested in getting home. Anybody here from Arkansas? Okay, so a couple people, you probably don't have too far to travel. But I'm sure everyone's looking forward to getting back home on that. The good news for at least the New York folks that are here, 27, I believe, graduating today, you know that I don't speak very long, so I'm not going to stand between you and graduating and getting on an airplane and going home. And I'm really happy. I had the opportunity last week. We were down here for a conference with the Army Guard, with General Stubbs, the director of the Army Guard, and I had an opportunity to talk to our 27 graduates last week. And I'm really looking forward to having the New Yorkers back home, focused on sessions and retention. And so a couple things I'm going to not ad-lib here, but kind of read to you. What you all do is the very lifeblood of the Army National Guard. I can't overstate how critical each of you are to the Army National Guard. You are the foundation of our organization. Without each of you recruiting talented individuals to serve in the Army National Guard, we simply could not be successful. And I tell our recruiting and retention team all the time how important they are to our success. In fact, every morning I get an email, I get a text from the recruiting battalion commander, how many people are on the floor at MEPS, and then at the end of the day, he texts me and tells me how many cleared MEPS every day. And every week I get an update from our G1 on what our strength is in the New York Army National Guard. It is one of the most important things that I focus on a daily basis. The New York Army National Guard is blessed with an absolutely fantastic team of recruiting and retention soldiers. And I'm going to kind of go through a little history here. But for FY21, the New York Army National Guard's Recruiting and Retention Battalion was the #1 for large states, over 10,000 force structure. Then for FY22, 23, and 24, we have been the #1 Recruiting and Retention Battalion of the 54 states and territories in the District of Columbia. And for FY25, we're leading the 54 again, and I fully expect that we'll be #1 overall at the end of this year. Anyone here from Georgia? A couple people? Well, you're right on our heels, but you're not going to catch us, I'm sorry. So it's not happening in this FY anyways. But New York has not always been so successful, and this is the point I really want to make with all of you. Maybe you can get something from this. In 2016, we had 8,900 soldiers assigned with a force structure of 10,400. We were down 1,500 soldiers below our force structure authorization. And we knew we had to make significant changes to the culture of the New York Army National Guard. And so we implemented several critical changes. #1, we added more production recruiters from our recruiting to our recruiting force. We took AGR authorizations from units and gave them to recruiting and retention to focus on recruiting activities. #2, we established what we call the battalion full-time battalion career counselor program. We took money from our IDT and AT accounts and turned it into ADOS and put 23 soldiers on full-time using ADOS, money within the house out of Hyde, to focus on nothing other than retention. We established the New York Army National Guard app. It's called the Benefits Hub, and it has a feature on it, Ask a Question. And the soldiers can hit that, and it goes directly to me. It goes to other senior leaders, and I often reply back or call the individual to get more information or to get clarity or to provide them with the answer that they have. And the bottom line with that app is it has proven to our soldiers that we truly care about their well-being and take their concerns seriously, because often I'm the one, as the Adjutant General, that is replying to them. We made people our highest priority. We instituted a standard that I use all the time, and it's a quote, so I'll kind of read it to you. Other than soldier safety, which includes physical safety while training and operating equipment, prevention and response to sexual assault, prevention and response to sexual harassment, and treating everyone fairly and consistently with dignity and respect, other than that, safety, soldier safety, we have no higher priority than assigned unit strength, followed by soldier readiness, which is being medical readiness class 1 or 2, being duty MOSQ, having the appropriate level of officer education or NCOES, passing the AFT now, which is changing here very soon, and meeting the height and weight standard. And so that has been something that we have inculcated throughout our chain of command, throughout all of our organizations within the New York Army National Guard. This was a sea change for New York, where previously people were not our highest priority. But starting in 2016, we changed that paradigm, and through constant emphasis, started the long and steady process of changing the culture of the New York Army National Guard into a people-focused organization. Before then, our state senior leadership worried more about the organization than the people who make up the organization. And I was determined that when I became the commander of the Army Guard and then continued to be the adjutant general, that we were going to make it, our total focus was going to be on people, and the organization was going to be secondary. And I think the results there have been just significant in New York, as I mentioned. We're on our 5th year now of being the #1 in the nation for recruiting and retention. The other significant change we made in New York is, I said, we have to focus on facilities and focus on things that soldiers see. So things that soldiers see. It's a mantra I use all the time. That's our program to revitalize old armories and facilities. As many of us know from where all of our states, our facilities are not in the greatest shape. It took time to design and program major facility rehabilitations and to seek the funding for it. But alone in New York City, which is the largest city in the country, our best demographic for recruiting in New York, since 2019, we've spent $373 million on rehabbing our facilities in New York City. $373 million. Across the state, the rest of the state, we've invested another $150 million to improve old armories, focusing on office space, classrooms, restrooms, locker rooms, physical fitness spaces, things that soldiers see. So we made our entire culture about people and things that soldiers need and use. I believe that the cultural change we started in 2016 has been exceptionally successful. And it has been proven by our strength numbers, especially our retention rates that have climbed ever since we instituted the full-time battalion career counselors. And so many tags over the years here have asked me, hey, Ray, what are you doing in New York? What are you doing differently than the rest of us? Why are you being as successful as you are in New York? And I tell them what I just told you. We focus on our people, that's the key. We treat everyone with dignity and respect. We focus on things that soldiers see. And so that is, I think, the secret. And we have a great team of recruiters and retention battalion career counselors in New York. I'll give you one other stat that I didn't have on my notes here, but we're authorized 817 AGRs in New York, 817 AGR positions. And 240 of those are in recruiting and retention. So well over a quarter of our full-time AGR assets are focused on our highest priority, which is filling our organizations. So my closing comments are focused on you and doing the right thing. Always remember that you represent the United States Army. Make sure you treat everyone, every candidate, with dignity and respect. Keep your relationships professional. Don't allow yourself to become involved with a candidate romantically. That happens periodically in New York. We have to remove people from the AGR program because of that. It is strictly forbidden. Make sure that you use your government equipment, computer, cell phone, GSA car, and office for official purposes. It's for official purposes only. Remember, everything that you were issued is paid for by the taxpayers. It's not your personal property. And so I just gave you those kind of words. I know, we talk about this a lot to our full-time force in New York, but I figured I would just throw that out there to all of you too, is you have a great opportunity ahead of you as recruiters. You are critically important to the success of the Army National Guard, of maintaining our structure of 325,000 people throughout the country. Currently, we're over 328,000 assigned, which is a tremendous number. We're over 3,000 more assigned than we are authorized. And that all says to what you guys are all going to do, what you soldiers are going to do, and what you have done, and what your fellow recruiters are doing in the field out there now. So congratulations on your graduating. You are all incredibly important and vital to our success. Thank you for everything you do for the United States Army and for the Army National Guard, your state's Army National Guard, and have a safe trip home. Thank you.
Major General Shields, sir, thank you for your time, your wisdom, and those inspiring words.